I'm going to pound 2 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns, so you can see I've pounded to a nice coarse mixture. It's not too fine. Pounding these fresh gives a very nice flavor to the soup. Next I'm going to pound a piece of ginger. So I've just cut into slices, and a few cloves of garlic. So I'm going to make the soup in a pressure cooker. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of oil. To this I'm going to add whole spices, a piece of cinnamon, cloves, cardamom and 1 bay leaf. Next add 1 small onion roughly chopped, 1 green chilli chopped, a few curry leaves, saute the onions till they are transparent. Next add the pound ginger garlic. The aroma of the fresh ginger garlic is amazing. So make sure when you make the soup, just pound it fresh and use it. To this I'm going to add 2 small tomatoes roughly cut up. Next to this add 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. I have about 500 grams of chicken that has been cut up with the bone. So it's been cut up into small pieces. So make sure while making the chicken soup you have pieces with the bone, because all the flavor comes from the bone. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now you can adjust the salt according to your taste. Now add the pound coriander, cumin and pepper. Mix everything. So adding all these ingredients nice and fresh definitely enhances the flavor of any dish, and particularly the soup. You would want your soup to be loaded with flavors and you want to taste all the flavors. So make sure you use them nice and fresh. Next I'm going to add 3 cups of water. This is a 250 ml cup, so totally I've added 750 ml of water. So now the soup has come to a boil. Close the pressure cooker. Pressure cook on medium flame for about 2 to 3 whistles. Wow, the chicken soup is done. The aroma is amazing and I just can't wait to get a bowl of that soup. So finally finish off with some chopped coriander leaves. Here is this amazing chicken soup. So we call this Kori Rasam in Tamil. It's a fantastic soup that you must try. First I'm going to show you how to make chicken stock. For this I've taken 250 grams of chicken with bone. It's best to get chicken pieces with bone on it because most of the flavors come from the chicken bones. Add 4 cloves of garlic pound, 1 large onion roughly chopped, 2 medium-sized carrots roughly cut up, 2 celery stalks roughly cut up, 1 bay leaf, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns and 1 teaspoon rock salt. You can adjust the salt according to the taste. Saute it for about a minute. You can either add whole peppercorns or crushed pepper. 1.5 liters of water. Bring this to a boil and reduce the flame to a low. Let the stock simmer for at least about an hour. The chicken stock has been simmering for about an hour. Turn off the stove. Remove the chicken pieces from the stock. These aren't really good to eat after it's been cooking for about an hour, as all the nutritional value has been cooked out of them, so it's best to discard them. Strain the chicken stock, and using the chicken stock I'm going to make a very delicious simple egg drop soup. Chicken stock is now ready to be used in your recipes. You can store this in an airtight jar for up to 2 weeks in the fridge and up to 6 months in the freezer. Now let's start making the egg drop soup. Pour the chicken stock back into the pot. Add finely minced ginger 1 teaspoon. 1/4 cup thinly sliced spring onion whites. To this add 2 teaspoons of light soy sauce. Now you can adjust the soy sauce according to taste. Give it a quick stir. Let the stock come to a boil. Meanwhile, crack open 4 eggs in a bowl and whisk it nicely. The soup has come to a boil. Now I'm going to add the whisked eggs. You must use a fork or a ladle simultaneously while adding the eggs to the boiling soup. Make sure while adding the eggs into the soup that you stir it only in one direction. Add the spring onion greens and turn off the stove. Season it with salt and pepper according to taste. Let the soup sit undisturbed for a few seconds to finish cooking the eggs. Serve immediately, topped with some chopped spring onion greens. Season it with some salt and pepper if required. I'm going to make a simple masala powder that goes into the soup. For this, take 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon peppercorns, 1 tablespoon whole coriander seeds. Grind it to a fine powder. So here's the ground masala powder. Keep this aside. Pound a few cloves of garlic with the skin. Keep this aside. So I'm going to gently pound the shallots or the pearl onions. We're going to pressure cook and make the soup in the cooker. For this, pour 1 teaspoon of oil. We're not adding too much because there'll be some fat releasing from the bones and from the meat pieces. To this, I'm going to add a piece of cinnamon and cloves. Next, add half teaspoon of fennel, 1 bay leaf. So here is about 250 grams of the mutton rib bones. Next, add the pound garlic and the pound shallots. Next, add 1 medium-sized tomato chopped. To this, add half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of the ground masala powder, 1 teaspoon of rock salt. Add a few curry leaves. So mix everything together. To this, add 3 cups of water. It's a 250 ml cup. As we are making the bone soup, we would want to cook it on low flame for a longer period of time. So all the juices and the nutrients from the bones are released and the soup will be more flavorful. Add a handful of freshly chopped coriander leaves. Also add a few curry leaves. So the mutton bone soup is ready to be served. Make sure you serve it nice and hot. You can add a little pepper if you like it a little spicy. You can get a copy of our first edition of the home cooking book on 21 frames.